Hey gang, welcome back to my channel. In this review, we'll be talking about two of the three newest releases from the House of Bortnikoff. So if you want to know more about those, don't go away. Welcome back everyone. Before we get into the review, if you haven't already, as always, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified of any future videos, content, and giveaways. So as I mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about two of the three newest releases from the House of Bortnikoff. If you don't know, Bortnikoff is a niche fragrance house. He's kind of a one-man show. He does all of his own perfumes and he does all of his own compositions. He spends a ton of time meticulously researching his ingredients and sourcing them from the best possible places. And that being said, I just don't find most of his compositions wearable, like Musk Habib or Oud Maximus or Lucky Oud, etc., etc. The only ones I find really wearable are Vesna Cologne and a couple other ones, these two being included. So let's get into it. So the first one I'm going to talk about is from the Cologne collection, and this one is going to be Vesna Cologne. So Vesna Cologne I think retails for about 190 to low 200s. I'll put the descriptions or the links of each of these two in the comments down below so you guys can research them. These are 50 ml bottles and they're very nicely, they're nicely constructed. They have nice little wooden caps here and the bottles themselves are very simplistic, but yet they're elegant. So what do I get with Vesna Cologne? Well, let's spray this on and let's find out. Yeah, there's a really nice citrusy kind of bouquet going on there of lemon, there's bergamot, there's grapefruit, there's orange, but that goes away pretty quickly within a matter of like maybe 10 minutes, if not less. You get other things, you get violet leaf, you get ylang-ylang, I think I get some jasmine in there. There's some florals, there's tonka bean, I think there's vanilla, there's some Virginia cedar and sandalwood. But I don't really get most of that. I get a slight florally heart. What I get more than anything by far is the oak moss. So this is a very oak moss heavy fragrance. If you're not a fan of oak moss, probably steer clear of this one. If you're a fan of old school colognes that kind of center or make oak moss a star player, this is definitely going to be up your alley because that's what this primarily is. It is a very oak moss centered fragrance that very much goes into the old school kind of colognes. I don't mean old school like old school fougères or like barbershop fougères. It doesn't have a fougère vibe. This is a chypre fruity fragrance. If I haven't mentioned that earlier. Yeah, I don't get the cedar, I don't get the sandalwood. I get a slight woodiness from this one, but what I get more than anything is that oak moss. The problem with this one is not for the price point. The price point for me is pretty low in terms of niche. Its longevity is bad. It's very poor. I get like 3 hours, if that. Sometimes I get 2 hours. I mean, I just sprayed it on like a minute ago and it's already starting to dissipate off my skin. So yeah, longevity on this one, I get it, it's a cologne, it's lighter, it's supposed to be more refreshing, etc. But it is definitely, its longevity is not very good. If you want to wear this all day, then you have to respray this or reapply it. Men and women can definitely pull this one off. It doesn't go in one direction or the other, very much so, but it definitely is very classic and very old school as far as a cologne goes. I was really disappointed with this one. I was so excited to wear this one because really there's not a lot from the house that I can wear, and when you release two new colognes, I was like, yes, let's grab them. Let's see if I can start wearing these and adding these to my collection and in my rotation. And really, I just didn't. I mean, I reached for this one maybe 2 or 3 times out of the times I bought it, and it's just kind of unfortunate. Now the next one is going to be Vesna Cologne. So Vesna Cologne is one that I like a little bit more than Vesna Cologne. Interestingly enough, though, it was kind of the opposite. I was kind of expecting myself to like Vesna Cologne more than Vesna Cologne. Now Vesna Cologne is very much it's a chypre fruity, that's the classification, but it's a very happy chypre fruity. It's a very floral chypre fruity. So what do we get with this one? Well, let's spray. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, so what you get right away is that happy bright lemon. You get some black tea, you get pineapple. Not a pineapple like an Aventus pineapple, guys, so just calm down if that's what you're thinking. Not that kind of pineapple. But you get a kind of a fruity pineapple. Then you get some magnolia. You get a little bit of like a fruity accord, like a dried fruits. And then what I get really more than anything in the dry down is nagamotha. So if you guys don't know, nagamotha is a essential oil. It is cypriol oil. So when you hear cypriol oil in other reviews, what that basically is, it's an essential oil. It's a combination or hybrid of different notes like vetiver, cedar, patchouli, a little bit of like a frankincense or an incense kind of vibe. So it gives off that, it kind of has that hybrid profile when you usually smell cypriol. So for me, I get a very green, like earthy vetiver patchouli, and very much an incensey vibe from that cypriol. But that's what I get from this one for the most part. It's a very fruity, somewhat citrusy from the top, but then it goes into a very sort of incensey green accord in the base. Again, longevity for me is very poor. I get literally maybe 3 hours, maybe if that, maybe I get 2. And it's nice. It's very nice. It's not amazing. It's nothing mind-blowing. Neither of these two are mind-blowing. So they're pretty disappointing to me. They're nice compositions. I think there's a lot of quality that goes into these. I think you can definitely tell that there's a lot of artistry that went into these two fragrances from Dmitry Bortnikoff, but are they worth the money? No. In my opinion, no. Now, if you own these and you love these, wonderful. Keep them in your collection, enjoy them, please do that. But if you don't and you want to get your nose on these, I recommend that you do, but in my opinion, it's not worth, putting that kind of cash down. They're just nice summer and spring fragrances, but there's nothing more than that. They're not going to blow your mind away. So that is my review of Vesna and Moss Cologne. Let me know down below in the comments if you own either of these two or both of them, and what are your thoughts on these two? Do you love them or do you hate them? So that's my review, guys. Thank you all so much for staying tuned, and as always, stay safe and take care of each other. Bye, guys.